He lights up the moment he sees you. His entire energy changes, like you're the highlight of his day. You can feel the shift in the atmosphere, even if you're across the room. His posture changes, his eyes spark with alertness, and it's like the volume of the world turns down for a second. You're no longer just someone who walked in, you're the one he was hoping would show up. It's not just a reaction, it's an involuntary emotional explosion. He doesn't control it because in that moment, he's no longer managing his image or calculating his words. He's just reacting from that raw, genuine place that screams one thing: you matter to him more than you know. When a guy is truly crazy about you, his greeting is almost like a celebration of your presence. He could have had the worst day in the world, but the moment you walk in, his whole demeanor resets. It's not the kind of change that's subtle or quiet. It's almost childlike in its enthusiasm. He'll light up like he just got great news. His shoulders might lift a little, his step becomes lighter, and there's a kind of joy in his face that's difficult to fake. You become his dopamine hit, the spark that turns an ordinary moment into something memorable. Even if he's around people, you'll notice his focus pulling towards you like a magnet. That brightness in his greeting doesn't just show in his words, it radiates from his whole presence. There's a warmth that fills his voice, and it feels like it was reserved especially for you. Even if he's naturally a friendly guy, the way he greets you will feel distinct. There's more enthusiasm, more softness, more gravity. His smile isn't polite, it's deep and lingering, the kind that makes you feel like you've been missed. He doesn't glance at you, he absorbs you, soaking in every second of the moment. It's like your arrival has validated something inside him, like a missing piece just clicked into place. Even in the smallest moments, his reaction betrays his feelings. If you walk into a room where he wasn't expecting to see you, there's a split second where surprise flashes across his face, followed by visible happiness. It doesn't matter if it's a crowded room or a casual setting, his emotional radar locks onto you. There's a lift in his expression that doesn't happen with anyone else. He may adjust his clothes, fix his hair subtly, or even change his tone of voice unconsciously. All these tiny, involuntary signals come from a place of deep emotional attachment that he probably hasn't even admitted to himself yet. If you've ever seen a man light up in a way that makes everything else seem irrelevant, that's the sign. His greeting becomes more than a social nicety. It turns into an emotional beacon. You become the trigger for a change in his entire state. The man who was previously casual and composed now looks like he's running on a different current. His eyes might widen, his laugh might come quicker, and suddenly it feels like he's more alive. Your presence doesn't just improve his mood, it elevates it. He doesn't try to play cool because the truth leaks out in his body language before words even catch up. And if you notice closely, you'll see that his entire vibe becomes more animated. There's more movement, more expression, more aliveness. He might lean in toward you, give a fuller smile, or hold his eye contact longer. It's these unconscious changes that speak volumes. While his mouth may say something simple like, "Hey," everything else, his posture, tone, and energy says something much deeper. It's in these tiny gestures where the real truth hides. You become the moment that flips a switch in him. That greeting, that shift, is a window into emotions he probably isn't ready to voice yet. The intensity of his reaction isn't about theatrics, it's about investment. He's emotionally invested in the moment you arrive, and that shows in how reactive he becomes. It's not the kind of response someone gives when they're indifferent or polite. It's the kind of response that bursts through him before his brain can get in the way. He becomes more engaged, more focused, more interested in everything you do or say. That greeting becomes the cue that he's no longer just existing. He's suddenly interested. And that interest runs deeper than he'll probably admit early on. There's something unspoken in the way a man greets you when he's emotionally tied to you. It's not just a hi. It's an energetic shift that you can feel in your bones. It's when you enter a space and you instantly feel seen. He may not have said anything yet, but you know by the way he reacts that your presence means something. It's in his face, his tone, his stillness, and his excitement. It's all happening at once. And that kind of response isn't something you can request, fake, or force. It only comes when you've genuinely struck a chord deep inside his emotional world. He greets you with undivided attention, making you feel like you're the only person in the room. In a world where distractions are constant and attention spans are shrinking, this kind of presence is rare. He doesn't glance at his phone. He doesn't look over your shoulder to see who else is coming. He's locked in. His eyes meet yours and stay there, steady and focused, as if you've hit pause on his entire environment. That moment becomes a bubble where nothing else exists except you and him. The way he listens with his entire body when he says hello tells you everything you need to know. His attention isn't shared, it's fully yours, and that says more than any compliment ever could. It doesn't matter who he was talking to or what he was doing before you appeared, he shifts his full energy to you. It's almost as if the room fades and his priorities rearrange themselves in a split second. That kind of shift doesn't come from politeness, it comes from emotional priority. When someone greets you like that, they're not just being nice, they're signaling that you're important. He may not even realize he's doing it, but his body and emotions know before his brain does. You can feel that weight in the air, the moment when someone decides that you're worth their complete presence. And it hits different because it's real, it's raw, and it can't be manufactured. He leans in slightly, whether physically or emotionally, signaling that you have his complete interest. You'll notice how his posture changes, more open, more forward-facing, more connected. He isn't just standing near you, he's with you, engaged, immersed in the moment. The way he says your name carries weight, like it's the most important word on his tongue. You'll feel that he's not just greeting you out of habit, he's greeting you out of sincere desire, and that desire is written all over his face. There's a stillness in his gaze and a softness in his tone that no one else gets from him. He's not rushing through the moment to get somewhere else. He's right there with you, in it, soaking in the connection. That kind of presence is intoxicating because it makes you feel like you're genuinely seen. Not just looked at, but seen. When a man gives you that kind of attention, it's not accidental. It means he's drawn to your energy, magnetized by your vibe. He might not verbalize it, but his attention reveals the depth of what he feels. There's an unspoken emotion in how fully he shows up in that moment. It's like he's found something that pulls him in more than anything else around him. He also notices things that most people miss because he's actually paying attention. Maybe you did something new with your hair or you're wearing a different kind of smile. He sees it. He won't always say something right away, but the way he scans your face with his eyes lets you know. There's admiration there, curiosity, and interest all layered into a single glance. His greeting isn't passive, it's investigative in the gentlest way possible. It says, "You've arrived, and I want to know everything about this version of you today." That level of attention isn't surface level. It comes from a place of emotional hunger. This kind of greeting comes with a calm intensity, like he's not performing, but he's feeling. There's no showmanship in how he focuses on you. It's sincere and effortless. He's not doing it to impress anyone. He's doing it because you draw that response out of him. There's something about your presence that demands his full attention, and he doesn't resist it. That's the power of attraction when it's based on something deeper than looks or conversation. You feel it in your gut, that pull, that presence. And it's all embedded in the way he chooses to show up when you walk into his world. Even his silence feels different when he greets you like this. It's filled with meaning. You don't need long explanations or dramatic gestures to know he's focused on you. Sometimes it's the pause before he speaks, the breath he takes when you arrive, the way his eyes soften just slightly. These are subtle, almost invisible behaviors that most wouldn't notice, but they're not lost on you, because when someone is truly paying attention, it doesn't feel like noise. It feels like stillness filled with interest. And that stillness is more intimate than 1,000 loud greetings combined. You might find yourself wondering why this kind of greeting feels so magnetic. And the answer is simple. It's rare. Undivided attention is the most expensive gift in today's world. And when a man gives it to you effortlessly, it reveals something sacred. You're not just a part of his day. You are the moment. The intensity of his focus shows you that his interest isn't casual. It's concentrated, intentional, and quietly powerful. And even though he might not say it out loud, his full presence speaks for him. Every time he greets you with that depth of attention, it's a silent confession of just how much you matter.
He uses affectionate, playful nicknames or a softer tone just for you. When a man is crazy about you, his language changes in a way that's subtle but meaningful. He may still call other people by their names, but with you, he invents something personal, something that only exists in the space between you and him. It might be silly, cute, charming, or teasing, but it's never generic. That nickname becomes a small emotional bridge he builds to feel closer to you. It's like a secret language, a playful bond that marks you as different from everyone else in his life. And once he starts using it, he rarely stops. Even the way he says your actual name starts to sound different from the way others do. There's a gentleness to it, a sweetness that carries an emotional texture. When someone's falling for you, even your name becomes something they treasure, and it shows in their tone. It might come with a smile, a smirk, or even a softness that lingers a second longer than necessary. You hear it and feel it, not just in your ears, but somewhere deeper. It's not about what he says, but how he says it. And once you tune into that tone, it's impossible to ignore the affection that wraps itself around every word. Sometimes he'll say your name just to get your attention, not because he needs anything, but because saying it makes him feel connected. You'll notice him using it more often in conversations than necessary, sprinkling it in as if it makes the sentence feel more complete. That's not accidental, it's emotional gravity in action. He's grounding the moment with your presence. It's his way of staying anchored to you, of pulling you closer through speech. And if he gives you a nickname that no one else uses, it means he sees something in you that he wants to preserve in a private frame. The nicknames he chooses may not even make logical sense to others, but they don't need to. What matters is the emotional intent behind them. Maybe he calls you trouble with a grin or sunshine in a tone that melts your guard. The point is, he's created something symbolic, something that belongs only to the dynamic between the two of you. It's playful, yes, but it's also personal. He wouldn't waste the energy if he didn't care. Every word he uses becomes a tool for connection. And the more affection he feels, the more creative he becomes with how he expresses it. When he teases you lightly or plays with your name, it's not to push you away, it's to pull you in. That teasing is his way of being emotionally vulnerable without making it too heavy. It's like dipping his toe in the water of affection before diving in completely. If he didn't care, he'd keep it neutral and formal. But when he starts bending your name into something playful or unique, that's the sign. That's the moment his feelings start slipping through the cracks of language. It's his inner child showing up, wanting to play with someone he trusts. You'll also feel the shift in his vocal tone, especially when he greets you. It may drop lower, get warmer, or stretch out your name just a little. These changes are subtle, but they're loaded with emotion. He's not talking to a colleague or a friend, he's talking to you. And that vocal shift is his unconscious way of matching your energy and creating intimacy. It's a sound only you get to hear. If you were to compare it to how he talks to others, the difference would be obvious. He reserves this special version of his voice for you, and that's a powerful clue about how he feels. Even in group settings, when he addresses you, there's a marked difference. He might use that special nickname in front of others just to make a point that your connection is different. Or he may drop it casually in private like a little spark only the two of you understand. Either way, he's not just speaking, he's signaling. His words are dressed in affection. Every time he uses that name or that voice, he's choosing to connect with you on an emotional level. And when a man consistently does that, it's not habit, it's heart. The truth is, language becomes an emotional playground when feelings are real. He doesn't just greet you with words, he greets you with intention, emotion, and playfulness. He's crafting something meaningful in every syllable he chooses. His nicknames become shorthand for his feelings. His tone becomes a mirror of his emotional state around you, and all of it, the voice, the words, the rhythm, combine to create an emotional fingerprint that's only yours. You don't have to overanalyze it, just feel it. Because when a man greets you like this, his words are doing more than communicating, they're confessing. His physical greeting includes a warm hug, hand on your back, or close proximity that lingers. When a man is genuinely crazy about you, physical contact becomes his natural way of expressing what words can't quite capture. It's not about grand gestures, it's the subtle things he does that show he craves nearness to you. That extra second his hand stays on your arm after saying hello. That slow release from a hug that feels like he doesn't want to let go yet. He doesn't just lean in because he's being friendly. He leans in because your energy pulls him there. He wants to be close, even in the most casual moments, and it's in those micro movements that you feel his intention. His hug isn't a quick pat or polite squeeze. It carries emotion, like he's trying to say something through touch that he can't yet voice. The way he wraps his arms around you, the pressure he applies, the way he draws you in and then pulls back slowly. These aren't random. They're layered in affection, in presence, in a sense of, I've missed this. He may not even realize he's doing it, but his body language reveals the truth before his words ever get a chance. That greeting hug becomes a ritual, something you both grow to expect. And it's never rushed because for him, that moment of contact is his favorite part of seeing you. If he touches the small of your back when guiding you through a door or places his hand gently on your shoulder, he's making physical space for intimacy. These touches are protective, connective, and often unconscious. He isn't doing it for show. He's doing it because his body seeks out yours naturally. The way he greets you is more than social behavior. It's emotional expression wrapped in subtle contact. And the consistency of those gestures becomes a language of their own. You start to read his feelings not in what he says, but in the way he reaches for you, even briefly. He might find reasons to close the distance, even in crowded places. Maybe he lowers his head closer when he speaks to you, or turns his whole body toward you when greeting you in a group. These small shifts might seem unremarkable on the surface, but they're signs of physical alignment. He wants to be near you, and he's not even thinking about it. It's instinctual. That kind of proximity isn't about flirting. It's about gravitating toward the person who makes him feel most himself. When a man is deeply into you, space between you becomes something he subconsciously tries to minimize. Even the way he positions himself when he walks into a room and sees you is telling. If he steps toward you immediately, if his first instinct is to close the physical gap, you know his focus is singular. He doesn't wander, doesn't hesitate. He comes to you. It might not be loud or dramatic, but it's deliberate. His path bends in your direction, and that physical movement carries emotional meaning, because in that simple gesture, he's choosing you with his actions. Before he says a word, his feet already say it all. He wants to be near the person who lights him up. He doesn't shy away from casual touch either, especially in greetings. Maybe it's a high five that turns into a handhold or a playful nudge that lingers. These kinds of touches are low pressure but high affection. They show he's comfortable with you, drawn to you, and looking for moments to physically reconnect. You'll notice he doesn't do that with just anyone. That kind of touch is reserved. It carries more weight than it seems, especially when it happens every time you see each other. He's using the greeting as a chance to rebuild a physical thread that keeps the bond alive. And it's not just when things are going well. Even on days when his mood is off or he's distracted, his body will still find its way to you in the same way. That reliability in how he greets you shows that it's more than mood, it's emotional memory. His body remembers how it feels to be close to you, and it repeats that greeting out of comfort, care, and habit. It becomes a rhythm between you two, something grounding. A man who greets you with that kind of consistency is revealing something intimate. He's created a pattern around your presence, and his body honors it. These greetings may seem small to anyone watching, but they're massive in what they communicate. The hand on your back, the way he leans in just a little closer, the smile that accompanies every movement. These aren't just manners. They're expressions of a man who feels something real and can't keep it completely hidden. When he greets you with physical closeness, he's not just saying hello, He's creating connection, reestablishing familiarity, and reminding himself and you that this thing between you two feels right. He mirrors your mood and elevates it. His greeting lifts your energy instantly. There's a way he tunes into your emotional frequency the second he sees you, almost like his senses are scanning you for how you feel before you even speak. If you're smiling, he leans into that joy and amplifies it with his presence. If you seem low, his tone softens, his eyes grow more attentive, and he greets you in a way that gently pulls you out of that fog. He doesn't match your mood to blend in. He matches it to meet you where you are and then guides it upward. His hello isn't a reflex. It's a response to who you are in that moment. You feel emotionally met, not overlooked. There's something healing about the way he greets you because it feels like his emotional priority is to make you feel lighter. You walk into a space and, without saying much, his face already shows he's aware of your vibe. If you're tired, he won't force energy, but he'll offer calm support through his tone. If you're glowing, he'll join you in that glow with ease, laughing with a freedom that invites you to keep shining. You feel emotionally seen, not corrected or judged. His greeting becomes a form of emotional presence, and it sticks with you long after the moment passes. He isn't just reacting to you, he's investing in how you feel. That's the magic of someone who truly cares. They have the emotional intelligence to adjust without needing directions. When you walk into the room, you don't have to explain your mood or justify your energy. He just reads it, and his greeting shifts accordingly, turning into something uniquely tailored for that exact moment. It might be a quick, lighthearted joke when you're already feeling good, or a quiet, genuine, "Hey, how are you really doing?" when he senses you're not. This adaptability isn't about performance, it's instinctual. He wants to lift you because seeing you elevated brings him joy too. You might even notice that when you're around him, your bad moods don't last as long. That's not because he's fixing anything directly, but because his presence reminds you that you're not alone. His greeting feels like a safe space, like someone just pulled back the curtain and said, "You're welcome here just as you are." That kind of emotional atmosphere is rare, and it's what makes his simple hi feel different from everyone else's. He greets you like your energy matters. He knows that mood is part of connection, and he respects it enough to meet it with grace and depth. And when you're excited or full of energy, he doesn't dull that. He reflects it right back. His eyes light up, his movements become more animated, and it feels like your excitement gives him fuel. He doesn't make you feel like you're too much. In fact, he creates space for you to be even more of yourself. His greeting becomes this silent cheer, encouraging you to show up fully. When you speak, he listens like what you're saying is the most fascinating thing in the room. And when you laugh, he joins you in that laughter, not as a guest, but as someone who wants to live in that joy with you. There's also a groundedness to the way he interacts with your emotional state. He doesn't just reflect it blindly, he carefully pulls it into something better. If you're overwhelmed, he slows things down without making you feel like a burden. If you're uncertain, his words offer calm reassurance without trying to solve everything. His greeting becomes a form of leadership, gentle, unseen, but powerfully effective. He helps you recenter just by being present. You start to realize that your day feels lighter when he's part of it, and it all starts with how he shows up the moment you appear. This emotional lifting isn't loud or obvious. It's subtle, but it sticks with you. You leave his presence feeling better than when you arrived, not because he changed your life in one sentence, but because he greeted you like you mattered. He treated your mood like it deserved attention and care. And in doing so, he showed you that he doesn't just see your smile. He sees the story behind it. His greeting isn't designed to impress. It's designed to support. And that's the kind of energy that stays with you long after the words fade. His hello becomes a small act of emotional generosity. You start to crave that greeting, not because it flatters you, but because it grounds you. It becomes the emotional reset you didn't know you needed. Even on tough days, just hearing his voice or feeling his attention instantly shifts something inside. He becomes someone you associate with calm, warmth, and emotional clarity. He doesn't push you to be okay. He meets you as you are and makes okay feel closer. And it all starts with how he walks into a room, sees you, and chooses to lift whatever you're carrying with a simple, thoughtful hello.